Inshallah and Ashe. Blessings to you, my energetic beings. And welcome. It's your cosmic companion, the Tanya D. And I'm super excited. I'm thrilled to welcome you to my mystical, magical realm. All things Tanya D, whether it's the moon, ritual, medicine, personal medicine, doing cowrie shell divination, and as the chief mystic over at the Shamanic Healing Academy, where we're all about guiding digital wizards to unlock their intuitive powers, I've been immersed in the world of the esoteric for as long as my heart and my soul can remember. It's like it's in my memoirs. Now it's all about you and our sacred audio medicine room. My journey has been one touched by the wisdom of the incredible mentors that I've been opportuned or gifted to be a part of their, I would say I'm a protege, I'm a student, an ever-learning student. Take Elder Malidoma Somé, a true shaman and an elder of the Dagara tribe in West Africa. And then there's Cindy Dell, whose guidance has illuminated our path, basically giving me words for my journey, labels. But why online? It's crystal clear. Digital products and our virtual audio sanctuary are the most accessible and soul-fulfilling way to connect with fellow seekers from across the globe, the lands. And I have a hunch, a subtle inkling, that a virtual realm filled with wisdom and magic is right on the horizon. So just imagine learning from your very own celestial library in the sky. If you've tuned in to your frequency or our frequency, and you're probably on a quest to ignite your gifts and uncover your true purpose, your authenticity, we're here to guide you on that profound journey, possibly prophetic. Maybe you've been wrestling with feeling stuck, caught in those repetitive loops, or sensing that something vital is eluding you. Well, we've got you covered. And if you find yourself in Salt Lake City, Utah, why not pay a visit at Crohn's Hollow on Thursdays between noon and 4 p.m. There, I am offering one-on-one, in-person cowrie shell divinations, certified by Elder Malidoma Somé and his tradition, his medicine. You can find the link in the show notes for all the details, but wait, of course, there's more. Join me for The Rising of the Origins, a free online immersion. Usually I do this twice a year. It's your gateway to a treasure trove of mystical knowledge. The replays from this year are readily available. In this immersive journey, I'm going to walk you hand by hand, or hold your hand, through the elemental forces, taking baby steps towards integrating them into your daily magical life. And it's all about connecting with the elements that really ground us energetically and naturally. By the end, you're going to discover which elemental forces really resonate most with your essence. Are you ready to dive in? If so, and I know you are, head over to club.tanyad.tv/rise to really join this free immersion. And if you prefer a more personal touch, I'll be waiting for you in Salt Lake City, Utah, every Thursday from noon to 4 p.m. for those one-on-one cowrie shell divinations. So go ahead and catch us weekly here on YouTube, and let's keep this cosmic conversation alive. Brewing some stimulating conversations, I might add. But blessings to you, my energetic beings, and welcome back to the Musing Moon Meditation. La Luna, dedicated to, of course, the goddess energies, arriving on December 26th at 7:32 p.m. Eastern, 6:32 p.m. Central, 5:32 p.m. Mountain, and 4:32 p.m. Pacific. Be sure to check your timeline as when she apexes for you. Depending on where you are in the universe, you may receive her energy on the 27th of December. She's on the cusp of the 5th degree, but at the 4th degree and 57 minutes, feeling a little topsy-turvy-ish. She's also in her home sign. What does that mean? The season of Cancer, having the power to really induce those deeper frequency waves, those emotional waves of healing. Also offering us a universal galactic chance to really embrace new waves of emotional clarity, getting clear about what we have or have not accumulated emotionally over this past year. Oftentimes I find people bury the treasure map, those deep-seated emotions, underneath all of the busyness of life. And we know that there is absolutely no hiding, no running. And the full moon possibly is likely to hit some tender spots, triggering us emotionally at the core, where no stone is unturned, no symptom is unaddressed. It's time to really utilize our gift and our purpose, our ability to really alchemize, to speak our emotional truths, speak our feelings, an opportunity to really cleanse the air, offering us all a universal healing balm. And I did a recent live in the Rising of the Origins around gratitude, like how do we practice gratitude and what does even gratitude mean to you? So this full moon may feel a little bit climactic, possibly a little bit more confrontational, especially with the home, the heart, and the family, and the holidays being in full swing. However, there are also these harmonics, the harmony that bring in the air of peace. It's time to script a resolution that really brings in that optimistic, positive feelings that are really nurturing to our soul that we can embody. And these are opposing forces. The opposing force of our emotional foundation is meeting our public, how we're seen out into the world, our achievements, how we're recognized, getting some validation. So it's kind of a toss-up, that's why I brought in the turvets, the topsy-turvets, between nurturing ourselves and the discipline or family versus career, our emotional foundation or validation, or those cold, tough love, drawing the line, having those energetic boundaries. There's kind of a culmination, like a bringing forth of our mind, kind of having an excerpt, if you will, because our mind possibly could have challenges integrating. So you may find that you identify more with one character and ingredient over another, possibly projecting the opposing character onto somebody outside of you. You may even find yourself in the emotional webbing, weaving those threads, identifying more with the energies of Cancer, but you also may be stuck in a kind of a remote viewing feeling, possibly hurt. You may even feel like me or be like me. I truly love to be a hermit, staying in the creature comforts, my little safety net, kind of like a crab in that hardened shell, where we're safe in our personal energetic sphere, instead of experiencing the cold, dark father of Capricorn, the hardship, the discomfort of what's happening in the outer world. So this hurt may also come from a trajectory, a projection, if you will, of being maybe you are a workaholic. Maybe you're trying to consistently climb that social ladder. Maybe you're worrying about those other or outer world appearances, or even keeping up appearances for those outside of us. The emotional coldness of somebody outside of you. So if you tend to identify or label more with the energy of Saturn, Capricorn, you possibly may become more heart aligned with ambition, social ambition, hard work, and even denying yourself to really feel. Feelings carry frequency, energy, vibration for the sake of achieving the goal. It's kind of like a head trip, even to the point of having a little irritation and maybe sensing a bottomless pit of emotion. Feelings that may make you feel weak or immature or even overly dependent upon others. We do have the ruler of Capricorn in Saturn at the moon's degree, sextiling and trining. Sextiling Capricorn and trining the moon. And we also have Jupiter trining the sun at 5 degrees, sextiling the moon. So it feels a little bit exciting, really. There's some percolation happening. And just knowing Pluto is going to pour some sugar on us at the critical degree. It's at that 29 Capricorn. And we won't really have this opportunity again in our timeline, in our lifetime, unless we're hopping timelines, of course, right? But it's as if the universe is offering us a cup of futuristic discipline to really hold space before we act or commit and decide upon a sensation, one that is actually achievable to thine own heart be true. Maybe the rug of the corporate world reaching for the top is something that is no longer on your frequency. And it's like, what's the feeling? Time to create sacred space around our heart, and knowing that if we do or don't belong, kind of resonates with that corporate ladder, what we've been programmed to kind of authenticate within career, those achievements, and being that the moon is being really supported by the energy of Saturn in Pisces, it really is like the four-leaf clover. Lucky us, lucky me, lucky you. The waters are safe. There is some compassion in the mix. There's this inner peace. And Pisces softens the hard core, the outer ridges, I guess. I'm seeing like a mountain of stone, thinking of the goat, climbing the goat there. So it's that Saturn energy. Saturn's often cold, unyielding, fear, reminds me of fear, aligning with the moon. So we're kind of being offered an opportunity to take a breath, the breath of air, obviously cold air, relax into the waters of the sea and utilizing our intuition instead of that hard, frozen father time. The clock still ticks. Time to use the energy of Saturn to really align with our inspirited values, the desire to achieve something more heart-centric, not a time for fame, for the hierarchy of fame and what that looks like. I call it the spiritual walk of fame versus the spiritual ego, or success for the art of the certificate of achievement. I'm not sure anymore that that's really at the forefront of our times. And Pisces is actually one of the least materialistic energies of all of the astro signs, I guess is what I'll say. Saturn here is really reflecting and teaching us that success is really hard to reach when we're not aligned with our gift and our purpose, those deeper core values, along with the great mystery of life. It's maybe a time to reword our goals, dreams, and wishes according to or in alignment with our inspirited goals and those intentions. We also have Jupiter in the mix. So Jupiter always reminds me of rabbits producing. It's this fertile, wild energy influencing us for some rather encouraging, optimistic growth, sensing and feeling, I would say, that sensation, being massaged, knowing our worth, that we are deserving, we deserve abundance. It really does remind me of rabbits. So we have the optimism of Jupiter along with the faith rising from the Earth star percolating, a more grounded sense of our own inner self-worth, an earthly kind of understanding of all life's creations, the possibilities to create, along with subscribing to those universal laws. I mean, just imagine in your mind's eye, literally turning that dial to the subscription of the oneness versus the subscription to man. Different frequency, energy, vibration there. Really feeling our wishes, our dreams really percolating and coming true with this optimistic, never been seen before venue to ground them into the earth. Feeling all of this energy, frequency, vibration, the momentum, this energy in motion happening inside of us. It just feels really fantastic. So it's time to really realign our goals, our career achievements with a deeper fluidity of feeling this emotional understanding, along with having those inspirited truths. I always like to go to my spiritual altar, my shrine in the universe, where I meet with my choreography of my, I'll call them the singers of the other worlds, whether it's an ancestor, the beings that are in the unseen, and so much more. And if we are able to co-create, blending our desires to create with a deeper sense of integrity, alignment out into the world, knowing that we are all one, we are all connected atoms, all living beings, energies, non-livings, our entire plane of existence, bringing in this the gentle winds of compassion, creating boundaries and structure, kind of a practical, kind of more confidence that's practical. We then have this opportunity to really give direction and guide our emotional waves to a less turbulent space, like not so much of a hurricane, I guess. So how can one balance the need for comfort along with the need of discomfort or challenge, adversity, forces of adversity? And also, how can we still maintain our ambition, pursuing our dreams, our goals, and our wishes without becoming so emotionally detached? And what can we do to really align our journey, our career, and our achievements with our deeper spiritual and spirited values. We've got them in our core, our God spot. And how does being grounded elementally, I talk about how we can ground into a different elemental. So how can being grounded really enable us to have a better relationship with our emotions? And what elemental can we bring in to really structure and give foundation to that emotional realm? So go back to July of this year, 2023, and reflect on your Cancer new moon wishes, your intentions. You may be actually revisiting some past karmic lessons or issues or memos with our mind off on holiday during this particular lunation. So we actually began the year with a Cancer full moon, if you remember, and we are also ending the year with a Cancer full moon. So I really say that we are in the weaves of the mother. We do need that emotional nurturing. It's the divine feminine. It's our emotional foundation. So this is like the creature comforts of the all-encompassing mother is kind of what I'm sensing and feeling with this one. Being that this is also known as the cold, dark moon of winter, connecting to the emoting field, it's time to lean into our home, our family, our emotional foundation, and really doing some emoting around that. Exactly. Maybe do a emotional health check-in, initiate some self-compassion. It's arriving right after the time of Yule, the winter solstice, a time for some inner ripening, reflecting upon our plans for what we really desire to manifest in the upcoming year. Maybe you're processing the healing of your ancestors, the ancient wisdom of the people that came before us, feeling all of these emotional tones and tides. And with Jupiter aligned with the moon, Cancer, bringing the soul's harmonic into the Earth star, Jupiter's in Taurus, creating a trine to the sun, there's some spiritual initiation, some values that are aligning with our gift and purpose. So we may have another worldly perspective, seeing through the eye of Creator that just kind of weaves in. And it really doesn't matter the weaves you've already webbed throughout this year. It really is time to appreciate the ever so galactic big perspective, the divine picture, and feeling the peace, the joy, the love of the divine heart, and surrounding ourselves with authentic gratitude. This year has been a year of authenticity. So wherever you may be in your in-spirited journey, it's a time for reflection of just knowing your own inner power, the power of love over the love of power for two different energy frequency vibrations. Dear Cancer, this is happening in your home sign. So the universe knows there's always getting the memo. We've got plenty of lessons. There's always a lot of individual growth happening for us. It reminds me of the spring. So hopefully this is hitting the sweet spot, a time to reflect on really the bounty of how far you've come this year. So just kind of pat yourself on the back, let go, take a breath, take a pause, and just knowing it's a time in your journey to reap the blessing of those rewards. You've truly come a long way. So it's time to sparkle that divine design in being in alignment. Dear Leo, there is no time like the present to have a night out for some quality me time. If you've been feeling bogged down, this emotional moon, it's a very powerful time for you to really open up that lion's gate, that heart space, really taking some time to reflect around the holidays, the creature comforts, and sometimes reflection is solo. Maybe you're feeling especially supportive, meditation. This is all happening in your 12th house. So maybe connecting to your prime directive meditation could assist you to really help you, keeping you feel grounded. I would actually bring in the element of water to ground into, to kind of allow and wash away. The reason I'm going with water is A, it's your 12th house, and B, Cancer's there, which is your emotional foundation. So really using water or the spirit of water to be a conduit. Just throwing that out there. Dear Virgo, it's time for you to get out. Get outside. I'd say the champagne is bubbling and you're getting charged with some social connection. It's like the Duracell battery. So just remember possibly the social groups that have really made you feel like you're a part of their community, the village. don't hide or don't be shy of creating and gathering some affection. Endure those compliments. Just kind of going out. Have some girl time. Get out into the world. It's time for you to shine your light even brighter. I would say be the air of quality. This is happening in your 11th house. Dear Libra, life has come full circle for you. Possibly you take a breath and a pause and really give some thanks, pat yourself on the back, and see how far you've come, especially in the aspect of your career. Oftentimes, this is the busiest time of the year for work for you. Maybe it's time to get into the culmination of that emotional foundation, bring in the hearth in the home and connect with your family. You might be seen in the limelight, the career limelight, whether you're actually ready for it or not. Maybe your feelings need to be initiated. Maybe you tend to the home front and what home feels like for you. Dear Scorpio, there's no time to get away. The hustle and bustle might just squeeze in that last holiday adventure of the year. Keep your mind open, your heart, and move forward into 2024. Maybe your quest for something inspirited really doesn't require another kind of stamp on the passport. Energetically, we can get in the astral plane and just go wherever we want. So if you feel like you're escaping into a book, that might be a novel idea. So it's just reminding you of how expansive the subtle world really is. We actually can dive into a book and go into that virtual reality now, can't we? Dear Sagittarius, do you know that one aspect of your life is ending so a new door can open up? But what do you got to do? You got to let it go. Let go of all the things that didn't really make the grade this past year. And just remember the endings that you may be holding on to. Let them go and trust the growth. This feels expansive, that each of those energies it's like the yes and not yet kind of thing. So kind of leaning into your heart space, cuddle yourself and hold possibly a ritual for releasing to really make peace, inner peace with what has no longer been serving or been in service for you. Dear Capricorn, you may be feeling the stir of love, the breath, the air of love. So this is possibly all about you opening the door and really putting your heart out there, putting your heart out on the table and acknowledging those closer relationships. It's time to really open up your heart. It's time for a relationship or partnerships of any and all kinds. This is all your 7th house. So just recognize the people that have truly been supportive for you. And really, it's time to shine. Don't be afraid to take in all the love and the joy molecules and hang on to those percolating bubbles. Just take them all in. Dear Aquarius, do you feel like it's time that you actually got your act together on the stage of life? Well, possibly, but always add and bring in self-compassion. A lot of people indulge this time of year, so, you may be just patting yourself on the back for all that digital success, but also it's time to do a detox. You might feel whole into your emotional foundation, and if you do, the sacral, listen to your feelings. That could be through journaling, it could be through releasing, movement. That's usually what I do. But either way, it's time to focus on your emotional health and that overall well-being, where this is all playing out for you. Dear Pisces, are you feeling any support as of yet? Because you are aligned with this water sign, Cancer, this is like calling you to bring out that inner artist. It's hitting the memo that it's time to send out all those major projects, to just hit the send button on your email list, and just honoring how your gifts, your purpose has really evolved, and just kind of bringing that expansive and getting in the momentum and to the flow. And, you can indulge in all those, I would say, I almost said gifted pleasures. Just reward yourself and know that you are brave and you have accomplished what your heart desires this past year. Dear Aries, it's time for you to not be afraid to really ask for help or assistance, and just showing some authentic gratitude doesn't hurt the bubble either. So this is really encouraging you to have a self-reflection of your home. What does tradition, what does family mean to you? And really lean into your golden heart, a stage of privacy, and just prepare for great change and transformation. You might be feeling those nostalgic moments for your childhood, possibly. I'm thinking of your inner child, things that have held you in check for this year. So you might need to do a self-tune-up for your emotional field before you act out into the future. Dear Taurus, this full moon is weaving the webs and the threads, giving you permission to get a little sappy. Maybe you're getting a little sensuous and sappy. Maybe you're like diving in and divulging those emotional loves, I'm saying. And it's totally okay for you to show your heart, wear it on your sleeves, don't flick it off. So this lunation is opening the door for some healing conversations. It's really a moment to bring in your village, your tribe, and really bring in your favorite people. I'm feeling like charisma, sharing your life, sharing your stories, things that have actually transformed and reshaped your grand design, your gift and purpose through 2023. And it's time to really share those deep feelings under those cold waters of the winter. Dear Gemini, it's time for you to pick your battles, and really opening the door, being really exclusive to where you're going to pour your sugar, your energy. Could be extra grounding and manifesting right now. Maybe it's time that you acknowledge the priorities and how they have shifted throughout the year, and again, expressing gratitude for what has come and what you authentically care about the most, and just filter through everything else and just flick that off of your stage of life. So this moon meditation is actually dedicated to our sacral, along with the power center in our hands, the force empathy. So it's time to actually do like a regeneration, recalibrating our emotional field. So we're going to bring in streams of gratitude and blessings into our emotional foundation, our sacral. This is the moon. She's in her home sign. She's full and she's buoyant and she's just full of sparkling, I'm going to say charisma, even though it's a cold moon. I'm just heating myself up. I guess I want to bring in the fire. Be sure to tune into the ritual after this. I have yet to look at the elementals, but I do love to bring them in. With that, just take an amazing moment and breathe into the center of the star that I believe we all are. Knowing in this sacred space as you're flowing with your breath, again, I always like to do an inhale for a count of 3, hold, and then an exhale. You're in your sacred sphere, you're protected, you're grounded into the elemental that your heart desires. That could be your own starlight, that could be the element of wood, nature, fire, mineral, whatever your heart desires. And as you're breathing in and you are grounded, you are centered in the star that you are protected by the streams of the divine. Nothing gets in unless the divine allows it. I want you to affirm the magical being that resides within you and myself. Ashe. Affirm the magical beings in the unseen, the ancestors, the Wedemes, the Candomblés, the spirits of water, the spirits of nature, the spirits of the stars and the galaxy, and so much more. And on your next inhale, I want you to affirm the Great Spirit, the oneness, the field where we all came from, the God spot that we are, and the streams of the universe creating a torsion field coming in and through our hands where we can command generative and degenerative forces. We're going to allow the Great Spirit to do a cleansing wash away with water flooding through our bodies and removing all forces that no longer belong, have never served us. So we can do some reconciling of the emotional field. And when you're ready, exhale and release. Inhaling through our hands, the divine center. We're getting God's, it's almost as if we're percolating through the eye of God, coming in and through our hands, both hands, left and right, and going into the center of the star we are, our God spot. And from the God spot, we're going to release down into the sacral, our emotional foundation, emotional empathy. And through here, just imagine with your mind's eye, going clockwise, the spin of the emotional foundation of feeling your inner compassion, feeling your inner peace, feeling the love of the divine just swirling through there. And anything that is not aligned with your divine gift and purpose is now going to release into the stratosphere of the heavenly universe, even a timeline where it may divinely belong, and then exhale and release. And as we continue breathing from the universal grid line, the heavenly universe, bringing in streams through our hands, both right and left, into our bodies. And as it comes in through these hands to the center of the core star you are, lighting up your star, releasing down into the sacral, the emotional field, again swirling there. We're going to ask the Creator, the universe, to anoint us with a sparkly sensation of healing streams, healing all the weaves and the webs, so that we may begin this new year all sparkly and bright. And with that, I say Ashe, and when you're ready, just feel into the fluidity of your breath, streams of water maybe you're cleansing the breaths with water, the water spirits, along with, I would say, the earth star, so that your manifestations may come from your heart. You've gotten permission from the earth beings, you've gotten permission from the star beings, the nature beings, all the beings in the unseen, whatever it is your heart desires to create with Creator in this upcoming new year. Again, may your star be bright. And as always, I will see you on the other side. Ashe. If you are enjoying these musing moon meditations, please comment below. I would love to hear from you, whatever that looks like. Somebody actually had a funny comment the other day, which I appreciate. The positive, I think criticism, honest or otherworldly, is fantastic. It's an opinion either way, right? And we're all right and we're all wrong simultaneously. Ashe, blessings.